Film scores. It's about film scoring.
I've been hired by a director to do a score for a movie called Ferox. He gave me a current cut of the film. It came with a soundtrack that is very much copywritten, and he asked me to make something similar but different. He did give me a lot of room to play. I like working with directors when they say, you know, here's the idea, play with it. And I've worked with this guy before. He's good at giving creative freedom to the people he works with. I also like to sit down and have a conversation with the people that I'm working for so I can get a feel for the emotional tone that they're trying to go for. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the rhythm. So I've got a number of hand drums, djembes, and I'm going to start there and then kind of build off of that. I will most likely add some electronic elements later on in the score. So that's where I'm starting, and let's get to recording some drums. I try to use at least 2 different microphones on any given instrument. I feel like it captures the tonal spectrum a little better than any one microphone could. So I have this little kick drum mic that'll have pointed at the bottom sound hole, and then I've got a little condenser mic here that'll get the bass tone. That way I can kind of have a bass and treble sound of each drum. I can do a little bit of stereo panning with that. All right, I've got my metronome set because playing to a click track is key, my friends. Especially when you're doing multiple tracks by yourself, it just makes it easier for the cutting and editing process later. Right now what I'm working on is the start of the film. I want to start with a rhythmic kind of heartbeat feel. So I'll probably do a couple of measures of just like, then I'm going to amp that up to a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit to it as the opening credits kind of progress. Do that for a couple of measures, and then I'm going to kind of build it up a little bit more into the main part. Now that I've got my basic drum line figured out, I'm going to start layering on all the different drum sounds. I have dreams that one day, when I have my own full studio, I can get a recording tech to help me. Because if you've watched any of my other videos, you see that there's a lot of running back and forth to get from my mixing room to my booth. To check levels, I have to do like 10 trips back and forth. Tons of fun, guys. Just tons of fun running things by yourself. Okay, that's a pretty decent mic setup. I gotta run all the way over there, hit record, and come all the way back. Now that I have a fair palette of drums recorded, I'm going to start messing around with that, try to make it into an actual song rather than just a whole bunch of random noises. So we've got to color code it first to make it easier on myself. So this right here is the djembe. The yellow ones right here are the 2 different recordings for the little hand drum. This is my doumbek, and these are my kick drum. So let's just put it all on top of itself and see what kind of a crazy mess this is right now. The good news is, I used a metronome. So even though it's all kind of madness, it's all in tempo. So I can't stress this enough, constantly go back to your source material. So I've got queued up the video here. However, I'm gonna drop in the original audio that came with the film the director gave me, which this is right here. That's all the sound cues, all the dialogue, everything right there. I'm gonna use this to time it up with what he has. So there's two different points at which during this movie that I'm gonna be using this drum music. The opening sequence, it does kind of some establishing shots and an overhead shot, which will have the slow version where I've got the heartbeat. And then there's this point later on that this is set up with the screen, and I want to come back to have a more intense version. I think I want to do some vocal things in here. I'm about to do something ridiculous because it's fun. That's what music is about. Now I'm gonna drown that in reverb. So what I just did was I took those funny little vocal tracks I just did, and I took each one and offset them a little bit and stacked two different takes at different places to create kind of a chorusing effect. And then I just drown it in reverb. And I just want to say that Auto-Tune has got nothing on using reverb. So this is what I got out of that sound that I just made with my face. I'm going to take some time here. I'm going to get this to kind of flow a little bit better, and then I'll get back with you after that. So just about 4 hours worth of work, and this is what I currently have. About 4 hours, and I got about 2 minutes worth of music out of it. So that's going to do it for night number 1, and I'm going to go and get a little bit of sleep, and then I will get back to it tomorrow night